What? $270?
You hadn't had any troubles with it?
Trouble? It's a Honda, mate. They don't give trouble. Two strokes, yeah! Alright Rex, this is where we last left off. I'm just heading down this soundtrack here, looking for a place to camp. Well anyway, I found a nice place just here, near the corners, set up camp, set up my tent. But I wanted to put the bike on the centre stand. So there were a couple of campers nearby, so I went over and asked them if they could give me a hand. And actually it was two Aboriginal women. So they helped me put the bike up on a stand, and then they said, oh, you're here by yourself, you can come over and join us at our fire. So I went over there later, they gave me some dinner, looked after me, lovely people. Yeah. Here is early in the morning, so there's no breeze, so all the dust is just hanging there. Just imagine being in one of them cars trying to see out. Jeez, it's not easy. There's those two women there I was telling you about. They were only staying for one night. So they said, you might as well come over and use our campfire. So they helped me carry the tent across and my stuff. Yeah. I didn't sleep well during the night because I was cold because of that goddamn sleeping bag. So I got up early in the morning, watched Toby Price came past. Then I thought, I'm gonna go back to bed and get some more sleep. So when I was sleeping, these two women had actually gone out and collected firewood for me. So yeah, very lovely. But I said to them, oh, you know, Dad, thank you so much, you didn't have to do that. They're like, yeah, but we didn't do anything special. That's our culture. Yeah, you were with us, you ate with us, so we have to look after you. So yeah, very nice people, very lovely. And there's nervous energy in the air, everyone waiting for the motorbikes. Check that out, mate. He overshot the burn. That's why you got to be very cautious, you know, where you're standing. Check out this guy on the quad. Sick. These corner sections are okay, but I wanted to go find the long, straight whoop sections. So I decided to jump on the bike and go exploring. Found this cool little section here, exactly what I wanted. Nice long straight with a few whoops. Perfect. These guys here are a bit slower than the pros, but they're probably still faster than me. I stayed in this spot for a while until the bikes finished coming through, then it was time to head back to camp. I'm just setting up my campfire for the night here. Those little fire starters in the small paper packages. Easy open my ass, mate. It's impossible to open them things. I struggled for about 10 minutes. Jeez. Ah, the serenity. Campfire, we hear motorbikes in the background. Ah, can't get much better than that. Good morning. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. While I was out exploring yesterday, I did drop the bike in the sand at one stage, but luckily no damage. It'll clean up alright. Sounds like Toby Price is coming. Toby Price. How good is that? A Vegemite sandwich or watching the Finke Desert Race? Living the dream, brother. Living the dream. wanted to get some real action shots, so I went and stuck my GoPro on the edge of the track. Let's see what happens. Yeah, he dusted me out. Cool, yeah? That's it for the trucks and the buggies. So I'm gonna go back to that place I found yesterday and watch the bikes from there, because I want to see them coming along that nice, long, straight whoop section. So it should be good, yeah. Look at me, I'm fully loaded. I'm gonna try and get up this sandhill. Can you hear how the engine's like cutting out? That's not me blipping the throttle, that's the traction control system cutting out. Cheers, thanks mate.
Yeah, you can't get up here. You need to deflate, eh?
Yeah.
Just stay on the hard stuff, eh?
Yes, someone told me there's a good spot to watch from up here.
Oh yeah, but you may have to walk, mate.
Yeah.
Eh?
I get that now.
But the thing is, you're better off, honestly, to be closer to the track.
Okay.
If you just go in here, here's a great spot, because they're going to be coming just around over the flat. Come down here and you see the bend, you know.
Okay.
Or even, I mean, I wouldn't go on the outside bend there, but if you're getting on the inside. But here, it's a great spot. Come and have a look.
Okay.
Here, it's good for you to ride, eh? You can walk around here. You just go a little bit closer to the track, you know. Yeah. Fantastic view. What you think it's going to come over, eh?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Can you just hold it for a second?
Yeah, no worries. You got a bike stand.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. So it doesn't disappear into the sand, eh? How far do you come from?
Port Macquarie.
Oh, you come a long way. So just to watch the race?
Yeah.
Good on you, mate.
Been on my to-do list for like 30 years.
Is that right? Well, good on you. You made it, eh? Gee, there's a harper. You got a ring gear, eh?
No, this thing's automatic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Oh, it's got a manual gearbox. But
Yeah.
the computer changes for me.
Ah.
So it always finds neutral.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Bloody technology, eh? Bloody amazing. Yeah, just try to get onto that vegetation patch, eh? Yeah. You got a lot of weight for the sand, eh?
Lean it back a bit towards you.
Oh, no, okay. Ooh, she's heavy. Oh man.
That's it.
You want to keep her upright all the time, eh? See?
I think she'll be right there.
Think so? Alright. From now on you'll be walking to. You got plenty of what, you know, up there. You see them.
Position. Yeah, Ez was Dutch. He was a great guy, very funny. Take a look at your t-shirt, mate. It's filthy. You know, you're carrying wood, so you gotta, put it against your chest. So, hey, you're out in the bush camping. You can't worry about looking flash all the time. I want to go and find that spot from yesterday, so hopefully I can get out of here without getting bogged. Is it?
Yeah. There was a fatality from a spectator. Yeah. We're shooting out, but it's all finished.
Some spectator dude got killed. What do you do? I walked back over to Erz's camp and I stayed there a while. We had a good conversation. Talked about the Northern Territory and talked about Amsterdam. Then we talked about the spliff and a pancake, the bong and the blitz. He was a cool dude, very funny. It's time to get out of here and head back to Alice Springs. Stuck in traffic. Wait a sec, I've got an Africa twin.
What's the hold up here? Oh no, Jax!
Oh, relax. These are nice coppers.
You guys are good to go, okay?
Okay, can I go now?
Yep,
Cool.
off you go.
I had to stop at the Alice Springs sign to get a quick photo. I had accommodation booked in Alice for tonight, so I was staying at a hostel. So I just wanted to freshen up, have a good shower, wash some clothes. So yeah, I needed that. Then I went out to the pub for dinner, had a couple of drinks, met a couple of nice locals. Yeah, good night. I'm just leaving the hostel now. It's about 6:30 in the morning and the sun has just come up and it's freezing cold. You can see the condensation on the windscreen. I'm just coming across the Todd River now, and that's the Todd Tavern there on the corner. I've got a big day ahead of me. I want to make it into Queensland. Camberwell is just over the border and it's 980 kilometres away. It's nice to see some trees beside the road for a change. I want to program the sat nav, so I've got to stop, get it sorted. Ah, the joys of satellite navigation.
Starting route to get physical.
Google Maps had me turning off the Stewart Highway and onto the Plenty Highway, which would have been about 600 k's of dirt roads to get to Mount Isa. I had no idea about fuel stops, and I asked that bloke in the four-wheel drive about the road, and he said it was pretty rough. So, no thanks Google, I'll stick to the main road. Roads out here in the Northern Territory are built for speed. Back in the day, there was no speed limit. You could go as fast as you wanted. So the 130k limit was introduced in 2007. Such a shame. Stopped again. There were some trees by the side of the road, so I stopped in the shade to take a break. As I'm heading north, it's getting warmer and warmer. It was about 32 degrees in Tennant Creek. This is the first time that I've seen termite mounds. Knock knock, anybody home? This is the last bit of video that I've got. I had more, but somehow it got lost, deleted. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened, you idiot, when you muck around for 2 years before you make a movie.
But story's not finished. I got some pictures. When I was about 50 k's out of Camberwell, there was a beautiful sunset in the sky behind me. It was orange, red, purple. The colours were amazing. I wanted to switch on the GoPro and get some film, but the thing wouldn't power on. I had this problem before and I knew what the solution was. You just had to reset the battery. But that would have been stopping. And at the time I was following a car. So at dusk and dawn, I like to follow another vehicle, for safety reasons, because the kangaroos are big out there. So I didn't stop, I kept going, and I regret it. You've got to stop and smell the roses. I should have stopped there, taken in the sunset. Yeah, what do? At Camberwell, there was not much there. Just a servo with a caravan park at the back. So as I arrived, the heavens opened and it was coming down quite hard. I was thinking, oh no, I've got to set my tent up in the rain. Then I remembered what I'd learnt from Scooter Tramp Scotty. He always sets his camp up under shelter somewhere. So I went for a bit of a walk, take a look, and I found these old cabins that weren't being used. They had a nice veranda at the front. So I pulled the bike up under there, set my tent up. Perfect. Thanks, Scooter Tramp Scotty. I had dinner at the servo, then walked down the street to the pub and got a 6-pack of beer. Then I walked back to my camp. And later it started raining again with thunder and lightning. So I was nice and dry, just sat back, drinking me beer and enjoying the beautiful light show. Cheers, Scooter Tramp. I finally made it to Mount Isa. My dad had worked there in the 1950s and he told me a million stories about the place. So I was so excited to finally get there. I'm all happy riding into town. So I tried to spin the GoPro around and the thing snapped off in my hand. The gooseneck broke away from the jaws. So luckily I didn't drop it. I spent about half the day in Mount Isa just going around looking at all the sights. But I wasted more than an hour on a wild goose chase looking for another Jaws mount. No luck. Anyway, I gave up the search and went to the Irish club to have a pint. My dad's old mate, Johnny Griffin, used to be the manager there. So I had a cheers to them both. I left Mount Isa in the afternoon with no real destination in mind. So I stopped in Cloncurry and got some things from the supermarket, then headed southeast. So it was getting near to dusk when I came into the town of McKinley. And you know what I found there? The Walkabout Creek Hotel from Crocodile Dundee. Mick Dundee's old stomping ground. Yeah. So I thought I gotta stay here. And luckily I got the last camping spot available in the caravan park out the back. So after having a wash, I went inside, had some beers, and the publican was a cool dude. He was a biker too. So we shared some war stories. Yeah, it was a total surprise to find this place, but a good night. Today was just about doing as many kilometers as I could. So the only real thing I did was I stopped in Longreach to the Qantas Museum and I had a quick look. Longreach is where Qantas first started, mate. For real. It was late in the afternoon when I got to Organthella and I was filling the bike up at the servo when I discovered they had dongas available for accommodation. So $35 for a bedroom, and I didn't have to mess around with the tent for the last night. Good value. I walked down to the pub for dinner, and on the way there was this cool silo art with all different lights and changing colours. Yeah, very nice. Day 11. This is Friday. This is the last day. There is 1,200 kilometers between me and home, so it's going to be a big one. From Roma to Goondiwindi, I cut across some regional roads and stayed off the main highways. There wasn't much traffic on the roads, so I made some good time. I was hooking in like I was still in the Northern Territory, if you know what I'm saying. I got to Goondiwindi in the afternoon and there was a strong gale blowing from the west. I filled the bike up at the servo and the wind was blowing from behind me. I was afraid that it was going to blow the bike forward and knock it off the stand. That's how strong the wind was. So I had to move the bike behind a shelter before I went in and paid for the juice. I arrived in Inverell at about 5:30 in the afternoon. This is where I made a big mistake. While filling the bike up with fuel, I could see dark clouds in the sky, and then I saw a motel across the road. So the thought did cross my mind, maybe you should stay here tonight. I still had 380 kilometers to go.
So, why didn't you stop?
Because I wanted to be a hero. I said I'd make it back in 4 days, so I pushed on. It wasn't long before I regretted it. 30 minutes out of Inverell, it started to rain. And because of all the dark clouds in the sky, it was one of those pitch black nights. So country roads, motorcycles and rain are not a good mix. When I got to Gyra, I stopped at an old service station and just parked up under the veranda while waited for the rain to ease off a bit. I was now wet and freezing cold, so I took a couple of swigs out of the bottle of whiskey that I had, but didn't do much good. But what do you do now? You gotta keep going, push on. At this stage, my field of vision was reducing and I was getting slower and slower. I was just staring at the beam from my headlight. I was only traveling about 40 kilometers an hour coming down Dorrigo Mountain. A couple of times, cars came past me, but I couldn't keep up with them. This section was hell, but I kept thinking in my mind, just make it to the Pacific Highway and then you'll be okay. I finally made it off the mountain and got down to the Pacific Highway at about 10 o'clock. It had taken me 4 hours to travel 250 kilometers. I was exhausted, so I just slumped over the rear top box on the bike, closed my eyes and vegged out for like 20 minutes. I had to give my brain a bit of a rest. I still had 130 kilometers to go but at least it was dual carriageway and it had stopped raining. At this point, I had phone reception again, so I started listening to the footy. It was Geelong v the Western Bulldogs, and it was a close game. As I ride along, I'm listening to the last quarter, and Gary Rowan took a mark with just a few seconds left, and he had a shot for goal after the siren. I was riding along, beep, 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 beep. Yeah! This gave me a good energy boost. My vision was still not too good, so I just got behind a semi-trailer and followed his tail lights. After about 20 minutes, the truckie must have got annoyed, so he started like flicking his indicators, telling me to pass, but I couldn't, so I just kept following him. But then he started brake checking me. So I thought, all right, I'll let you go. So I just pulled into a truck parking area, waited a few minutes for another truck to come along, and then followed him all the way. He didn't seem to care about a motorbike behind him, and I followed him all the way to the Port Macquarie exit. I arrived home just before midnight. Mission accomplished. 3,519 kilometres travelled in 4 days. The journey out to Finke from Port Macquarie was 3,000 kilometres in total. Then the return journey via Mount Isa, 3,517. So for the entire journey was 6,741 kilometres. And look at me average, 99. Just like Don Bradman, bro. Well, that's it, Rex. All finished, brother. No more videos. So did you like it?
You ain't no itchy boots.
Why, you little